Thanks for, Thanks for joining us and welcome to the Center County Report. I'm Christopher Hess.
And I'm Judy Miller. Our top story. Today marks the 19th anniversary of the September 11 terrorist attacks. Ceremonies mark the event in New York and Washington, and here in Pennsylvania, President Donald Trump spoke this morning in Shanksville, the site where one of the 4 hijacked planes crashed. The memorial service began with a 20-minute moment of remembrance, in which the names of all 40 victims of Flight 93 were read. Due to coronavirus concerns, the event was closed to the public. Instead, it was streamed worldwide on the Friends of Flight 93 website. Democratic presidential nominee Joe Biden visited the 9/11 Memorial in New York City and will also go to Shanksville later today.
After switching to remote learning for this week due to a rise in local COVID-19 cases, the State College Area School District expected to announce today whether or not to bring students back to the classroom next week. The last week's decision made the district the first in Center County to switch from in-person to online instruction this fall. Superintendent Bob O'Donnell said in a statement the move was needed once the county had reached the Pennsylvania Health Department's threshold for a substantial level of virus transmission.
A proposed Bellefonte mask ordinance is on hold for now. Borough Council considered the proposal, but voted to table it this week. It would have required masks in public buildings and on public transportation, and limited lines outside businesses, and set a 25-person maximum at household gatherings. The proposal is under review for potential revisions. Penn State has been promoting its Mask Up or Pack Up campaign on campus. But with the recent spike in cases locally, some students are already packing up and heading home. The usually crowded downtown State College streets are now much quieter. The football stadium is empty, and a typically noisy hub is nearly silent. It's been nearly 3 weeks since Penn State students returned to classes, with only some of them happening in person. Although many students are following masking and social distancing rules, the number of COVID-19 cases at Penn State has risen sharply. That's led some to make the decision already to pack up and go home. That's what Senior Rania Brown is doing.
I just thought it would be best if I moved off campus because, one, the cases at Penn State were just increasing. Each week it would go up by like 100 to 200 cases. And I thought that I would just be at increased risk if I was on campus.
The university has offered an extension until September 18th for students to cancel their on-campus housing, which has been modified to accommodate the rise in cases. Many students are outraged and have expressed their concerns of the increased COVID rates on campus. And if the number of cases keeps going up, Penn State may soon make the call to move to fully remote classes. The university's new batch of COVID case numbers are due out this afternoon.
And breaking news right now, new numbers are just in for COVID cases across Pennsylvania and here in Center County. Our county added 137 cases since yesterday. The total to date is 1,062. Almost 20,000 people have tested negative. The county COVID death total remains at 11.
It's been a challenging start to the school year for students across Pennsylvania because of COVID. At Penn State, the experience is especially strange for incoming freshmen. Reporter Bella Langston has more.
3 weeks into Penn State University's fall semester, many freshmen are still adjusting to a new academic and social lifestyle, especially in the middle of a pandemic. While upperclassmen remember the days of packed sport events and crowded campus, this year's new college student are dealing with a not-so-typical college experience. More than 60% of students voiced their concern about returning to on-campus learning, according to a Penn State survey. Though online academics is just one of the challenges freshmen face, Marco Rescala says he's more concerned about meeting new people.
Coming in, I was really thinking it would be a little harder to make friends with COVID around. But like it turns out like it really wasn't that bad. But at the same time, I feel like it's much harder to have like those close friends that like you stick around with for the first couple of years.
University Park is now dealing with rising COVID case numbers, including a surge of more than 200 new recent positive cases. Nick Malizia is a resident assistant in East Halls. He says although his residents can't enjoy some Penn State activities and traditions, they find a way to make the most of the situation.
I think that if students are kind of being proactive, it does teach them to take advantage of campus resources, because there are a lot of things that the students can do if they want to find a social outlet or they need more help academically.
It's clear that online learning can be tough for freshman students as well as those transferring from other campuses, but the amount of obstacles students face can be, for the most part, avoided.
Really think about what their goals are and be strategic in terms of getting involved on campus, looking for internships, focusing on their classes.
Academic advisors like Nikki Diorio say that this situation doesn't necessarily impede on our social lives, but forces us to think differently about our interactions and our future. And as they settle into college life, students hope campus life will soon get back to normal. In University Park, I'm Bella Langston for the Center County Report.
Although students don't want this semester to repeat itself, Penn State just announced its plans on having the same hybrid classes again in the spring.
It's also a fall with no Penn State football in State College, and that's having a serious impact on the local economy. Reporter Hunter Pitkoff takes a look.
Football Saturdays used to look like this. But now they're looking a lot different after the suspension of the season by the Big Ten Conference in the wake of the coronavirus pandemic. That means sold-out Beaver Stadium will remain a silent giant, at least for now. Penn State generates at least $100 million from every football season. The economic impact it has on the State College community is massive. Local tourism officials believe that the area has already lost close to $100 million. An additional $80 million may be gone college football season in the fall. Biggie once said, more money, more problems, but having no money is an even bigger problem. The Hotel State College's Director of Operations, Kurt Schulman, knows it isn't business as usual when it comes to the amount of revenue his businesses typically pull in.
We had a significant drop, some nights as much as 80 to 85%. Without seeing this month's financials yet, I'm guessing we're at least 70% down for the month to date.
Lions Pride Assistant Sales Manager Danielle Stemple wants a merchandise store to maintain a positive attitude during these times, but understands the financial implications no football season may have on the local economy.
I think for most businesses in the downtown State College community, football season probably makes up at least 60 to 70% of their business for the year. So eliminating those 7 weekends where you have 100,000 plus people flood into town, that's going to be devastating.
Stemple hopes Penn State can resume its football season in the spring so State College businesses can make up for the lost time. In State College, I'm Hunter Pitkoff for the Center County Report.
There's no word yet on when the Big Ten will launch its football season.
Are any big weather changes on the way for the weekend? We have a 7-day forecast coming up next. And police in a local community are searching for a person of interest in a vandalism case. We have the details on what happened after the break.
So, I'm kind of new here, but I've noticed a trend. My human does this funny thing where she goes around and gets all my toys, and then she hides them in that basket by the door. But it's always the same basket, and it's always in the same place. And then she acts so surprised when I find them, but, she's putting them in the same basket again. It's like, hello, that's where you put it last time. You were the worst at hide and go seek.
Most party fouls are pretty dumb. But if you decide to drink and drive underage, you could lose your license and your freedom. Underage drinking and driving. The ultimate party foul.
You're doing great. We're gonna try this again, okay?
Okay.
Wheels, pedals, handlebar, brakes. Sit up straight, keep your weight in the center, keep your eyes on the road, hands on the grips, button the seat. If we feel ourselves falling, what do?
Just keep
pedaling.
pedaling.
Good girl. Now remember, it's all about balance and steering. Steer with your hands, steer with your body. Steer into the corners and you stay out of trouble. And the bell's your buddy, so go ahead and ding that. All right, you ready? Here we go. Pedal, honey, pedal. There you go, you're a bike rider.
Most parenting is hard to do in just 2 minutes. But 2 minutes twice a day making sure they brush is easier, and it could help save them from a lifetime of tooth pain.
Police in Ferguson Township are investigating multiple acts of vandalism. The bicycle tunnel under Blue Course Drive near the intersection of Circleville Road has been vandalized throughout the summer. Police have released a surveillance photo of someone they say is a person of interest in the case. This photo is from August 13th, and anyone with information should contact Ferguson Township Police.
The demand for student housing is continuing to increase, and Ferguson Township wants to be part of the solution. At the most recent township meeting, community planners received a proposal for a new 6-story apartment complex at West College Avenue and Buckout Street. The building would be 5 floors of apartments totaling 96 units and 1 floor for commercial retail. The plans are still being reviewed by township engineers and other municipal staff. If approved, it'll be discussed at the next township meeting.
In election news, Democrats say they will appeal a court decision allowing the Green Party's candidate for president on the Pennsylvania ballot. They'll appeal to the state Supreme Court. The Democratic Party argues the Green Party's nominees did not properly submit candidate affidavits to go with paperwork to get on to the ballot.
Lots of cloud cover out there right now as we take a live look outside at Beaver Stadium. You see that thick cloud cover in place over our area. Temperature right now at 68 degrees. A lot more seasonable today than it was yesterday as you take a look at temperatures across the region. Yesterday we were in the 80s, and right now we're in the upper 60s and low 70s across central Pennsylvania. A little bit warmer down to our south and east, where some more sunshine has allowed temperatures to rise into the mid 70s. Current dew points across the state showing much more comfortable air in place. Dew points now in the low to mid to upper 50s, indicating a lot more comfortable air is in place across our region. Satellite and radar across the state shows that thick cloud cover for all of Pennsylvania, and taking a wider view across the entirety of the eastern part of the country. All of this is associated with the storm system off in the Midwest that'll eventually make its way into our area by the second half of the weekend. Timeless hour by hour for you with Futurecast. You can see those thick clouds sticking in our area until the middle of the afternoon. Then they will begin to dissipate as we go into the later afternoon and evening hours. Clouds begin to build back in for Saturday morning, but should be a mix of sun and clouds for your day on Saturday. A good day to do any outdoor activities that you do have planned, because by the time we get to the second half of your weekend on Sunday, that's when some showers and storms begin to approach us from the west. We will see these showers move into our area by the time we get to Sunday afternoon and Sunday evening. Your forecast for the day today, we'll see a high temperature of around 76 degrees. Those clouds will be decreasing heading into the afternoon hours, and it will be less humid and more comfortable. Tonight, a good night to open the windows as you sleep with a low of 53 degrees, mostly clear skies out there. And then tomorrow, warming up to a seasonable high temperature at around 72 degrees with a mix of sun and clouds. Your 7-day forecast shows those periods of rain on Sunday with a high of 75, and then a beautiful stretch of weather for the start of next week with high temperatures in the mid 70s and plenty of sunshine on Monday through Wednesday. We're going to send it over to Summer with sports.
It's September, so you know what that means, football. NFL opening weekend is in full swing after a Thursday night matchup. That's next in sports. Plus, local high school football teams are adjusting to a season like no other. We check in with Bellefonte as the Red Raiders get ready for opening night.
Todd's a great guy. I mean, look at him. What a sweetheart. Attaboy. Wait, Todd, what are you doing? How totally selfish and un-Todd-like of you. Come on, Todd. Come on, man.
Hi, I'm Peter. And there's nothing I love more than sharing vegetables with my friends. Come on in! Help yourself to anything. That's why we give our food the utmost respect it deserves. Did you know there are simple steps we can all take to help save food? You can cook it, store it, even share it. Just don't waste it. Because when it comes to food, better late than never. To learn more, visit SaveTheFood.com.
This year, patriotism shouldn't just be about pride of country. It should be about love. Remember that to love America is to love all Americans. Because love has no labels.
So, I'm kind of new here, but I've noticed a trend. My human does this funny thing where she goes around and gets all my toys, and then she hides them in that basket by the door. It's like, hello, that's where you put it last time. You were the worst at hide and go seek.
So you see, son, good manners are important. Should I go through it again?
Yes.
Yes, please.
Yes, please.
Exactly. Always say please, thank you, you're welcome, excuse me, sit up straight, hold doors open for ladies. If the door's locked, knock first, don't burp, don't swear, don't stare, don't use bad language, or talk with your mouth full, keep your elbows off the table.
What table?
Don't interrupt. Cover your mouth when you cough or sneeze. On the bus, give your seat up to anybody who has trouble standing. Bottom line, treat others the way you want to be treated. Got it?
Got it.
Good talk.
Most parenting is hard to do in just 2 minutes. But 2 minutes twice a day making sure they brush is easier, and it could help save them from a lifetime of tooth pain.
I'm Summer Thomas with sports. It's opening weekend for some local football teams in our area. Practice has been much different this summer for every team, including Bellefonte. Josh Starr has more on the Red Raiders' preparation for this unique season.
Early September in Center County normally means Friday nights under the lights. So far this year, that's not the case, but tonight, high school football returns. Bellefonte High School started practice in July with groups of 10 or less, but head coach Shannon Manning found a way to make it work.
I think we're behind where we normally would be, but I don't think we're behind our competition. It's helped having 22 seniors.
Governor Tom Wolf's plan for high school sports includes athletes wearing masks at all times, except when on the field. Senior quarterback Ethan Rossman is adjusting to the changes.
You're in water bottle, you got to wear a mask everywhere. We have the face shields on our helmets now, which makes things a little bit more difficult. It gets hot and it gets steamed up a little bit.
Also under state rules, a limited number of fans will be allowed in the stadium, up to 50% capacity or 250 people.
High school football is back in Center County this week after months of socially distanced workouts and masked practices. And even though those are going to continue, the Bellefonte Raiders are just excited to have the opportunity to play another football game.
At this point, if the kids have the opportunity to play, I really don't care if we play in the Walmart parking lots, and I don't think they would either.
In Bellefonte, I'm Josh Starr for the Center County Report.
After waiting all summer not knowing when or if they'd play, Bellefonte opens the season at 7 tonight on the road against Tyrone. In other local games, Bald Eagle plays Central, Phillipsburg plays Huntington, and Penns Valley goes up against Clearfield. Penn State Athletics has put activities on hold for several teams because testing revealed 48 positive COVID results last week. The university says there's no evidence COVID was transmitted during specific practices or training activities. And Penn State hockey fans just got some bad news. The Division I hockey season will be delayed due to the pandemic. Each conference is working on plans for a possible return to play. The NFL season kicked off last night with a Super Bowl winning Chiefs' convincing defeat of the Texans. The Texans began the night with a 7-point lead, followed by 31 unanswered points by the Chiefs. The Texans came back in the fourth quarter with 2 touchdowns, but fell short of a comeback. Pat Mahomes threw for 3 touchdowns, and running back Clyde Edwards-Helaire stood out with 138 yards rushing for the Chiefs. Our Pennsylvania NFL teams kick off their seasons this weekend. The Eagles will face the Washington football team on Sunday at 1, while the Steelers will take on the Giants on Monday Night Football. Last night, Miami became the first Power 5 team to play in the 2020 college football season, with a win against UAB to begin Week 2. In the absence of Power 5 last weekend, the Week 1 primetime slots went to teams like Memphis, SMU, and BYU as the AAC, Conference USA, and Sun Belt conferences began play on schedule. Big 12 teams Iowa State and Kansas State will play this weekend, and the SEC will kick off on September 26th. The MLB is close to finalizing negotiations for a bubble for the last 3 rounds of the playoffs. According to USA Today, the World Series and the NLCS will be played at a neutral site at Global Life Field in Arlington, Texas, while the ALCS will be played at Petco Park in San Diego. The report quotes anonymous sources saying the holdup on negotiations is due to debates on health and safety regulations and family visitation. That's all for sports. Now back to you at the anchor desk.
Thanks, Summer. Coming up next, Penn State hopes to make parking a little easier on campus this fall. Find out what's coming to University Park. That story is after the break.
We taught him how to hit a baseball, how to hit a receiver, the strike zone, the net. You taught him how to hit the upper corner. You even taught him how to hit the open man. But how much time have you spent teaching him what not to hit?
Start a story. Adopt at theshelterpetproject.org.
There's one thing you can never have sex without.
It's not something you buy.
Or something you take.
In fact, there's only one way to get it.
It has to be given to you. Freely.
It's consent.
Because sex without it isn't sex.
It's rape. Consent.
If you don't get it, you don't get it. It's on us to stop sexual assault.
Learn how and take the pledge at itsonus.org.
The on-demand zone parking app, Park Mobile, is now available for some parking areas at Penn State University Park campus. Park Mobile allows visitors to use online hourly payments on your cell phone. This gives another option to visitors who don't want to risk direct contact with pay stations. Those who have a valid handicap play card will have extra parking areas available to pay for parking. The zone numbers will be displayed on the entrance sign or on the pay station. You can find more details on each location through the Park Mobile app.
That's all for today's newscast. You can find more of our stories on our website, centercountyreport.com. Our next newscast is on Tuesday, but you can follow us anytime for breaking news on Twitter. That's at Center County REP or on our Facebook page. We also have a Center County Report Instagram. Have a good weekend.
Visit aarp.org/caregiving for information on how to provide even better care for the person who wants to care of you.
heart doesn't see race. Love is love.
Pretty much a good day for me would be people leaving their hands off of me. I'm always called names. Everywhere that I go, there's always someone calling me names, calling me gay. I've been choked, thrown up against a wall, punched. Nobody's ever tried to help me.
Your daughter is having trouble learning French. Do you A, hire a tutor?
Bonjour.
B, enforce a French-only rule at home? Or C, watch some foreign films? When it comes to parenting, there are no perfect answers, but that's okay, because you don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Teens in foster care will love you just the same.